Today we're going to be rebuilding my antenna. What's up guys, Cory the Random Guy here. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm rebuilding the antenna, actually soldering stuff in. I've already got some of it soldered, so I'm going to show you what I haven't soldered yet and what I'm doing. So without further ado, let me show you. So here's the piece that I'm soldering. I'm basically taking 14 gauge wire, solid. This is the piece I've already done. Shoving it down in this little hole here. You guys probably can't see this because this camera sucks. We're stripping the wire back and wrapping it around and then soldering it basically from here all the way and shoving solder down in that hole. Then after that, take some heat shrink tubing, shrink it down right there. What I'm doing for ground radials is that this little piece screws on right there. And these screws go right into there like that. Now these two little connectors came out of this. I'm never going to use it, so I just robbed the connectors off of that. Let me show you guys what I did with this little piece. You see these two right here? This is the one that will be soldered with the same wire. These are my ground radials. These are going to hook, I could do this with one hand, screw right there. They're just going to screw on right there, and these are going to be my ground radials. So I have this one to solder together. I purposely cut these wires a little bit longer so this way I can shorten them up. And the main antenna wire is about 110 inches long, and I did that on purpose, as I said, so that I can tune it. So once it's tuned, it's done. I don't have to worry about it. Let me show you. I got this T-intersection. Once I get everything fitted in here like so, this elbow piece is going to come off of it. And inside of here is going to be filled with silicone. This way nothing moves, everything's protected. I've got another chunk of pipe here that's going to go like this. It's going to be right there. That cap will not be on it. I'll fill that end in. And then the other piece of pipe where the antenna is going to go up the other way. And this is where my connection is going to be. I actually learned this trick from blooper. Anyway, I learned this trick from Mower Junkie. I watched his video time and time again to see if I can get it right, and well, kind of putting my own spin on it too, but the design is pretty well the same. Anyway guys, let me get off here and I will show you the finished product. You guys have an idea of what I'm doing. I'll cut back in here as things go along. So here's what it looks like before it's soldered. I took that little leg that was on here, wrapped it around this copper, and now I'm going to take some solder with the assistance of the lovely wife over there, because my hands aren't very steady. But we're going to take some solder and we're going to go from basically here all the way up, and then we're going to take a heat shrink tube and cover all of that up. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. It's not the prettiest in the world, but guess what? It'll definitely work, and the wife doctored it up a little bit. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've actually never soldered before, so you know, my first time doing it actually seems to be pretty good. Nobody's ever taught me. Now I've just got to cut this to length. This is what I'm using for reference. It's a 14 gauge solid wire, and these are my ground radials. So I'm going to cut this down to length, about 105 inches or so, and then I can just cut them down from there, and then we'll slap it all together and we'll move on to the next step. So hang your horses. I'm just kidding, don't really hang your horses, that's just really bad. But we'll be right back. Here's an update. I've got this held down with zip ties so it doesn't move. Because that in there I've got it filled with silicone. And this short little pipe is just temporary, and it's holding the antenna wire in place. So I'm going to let this sit, and we are going to get back to it as soon as it dries up enough to where I can put it together. Alright, it's not quite the next day. I'll show you in here real quick. Still drying. Got a little ways to go. That zip tie has to hold that little connector in place. I don't know if it's going to hold, but you know, we'll see. Well, let me show you what else. I've got this 5-foot piece of pipe with this PVC. This T-section is going to sit right on top of that. This pipe here is going to be attached to my mount that's going on the side of the house. And then of course, this is where the main wire is going to go. We'll get back to this tomorrow after all this stuff sets up so I can get it up tomorrow. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, this is the next day. I want to show you what it kind of looks like. I still need to go to the store and get some straps, but I got it half strapped right there. Got that zip tied up there so it holds in place. These ground radials are not right, but let me show you the SWR. Alright guys, I'm using this radio. This is a Cobra 18WXST, just a test radio for now because I don't want to blow that one up. So we're going to start out at channel 40, switch it to set, key it up. Needs to come down just a tick. Needs to come back up. And we're good. Alright, now we're going to test the SWR. The SWR is sitting right at like 2.1 to 1 on channel 40. Now we're going to flip it down to 1. Try it again. And that's right on set. And about 1.7 on channel 1. So what that means is the antenna is still too long, but the way it's sitting, I'll trim it down a little bit, put the little cap on top. We'll send it way up in the air, see what it gets. If it's down below 2, I'll be happy with that, being it's a homemade antenna and it's been rebuilt. So, but I'm gonna run to the hardware store. We're gonna go get some straps so I can send that thing way up in the air, get the ground radials right, see what it gets. Be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. The SWR reading was right around 2.1 to 1 on channel 40 and about 1.7, 1.8 on channel 1. I'm going to snip that little bit off to where it's flush right here. And some of that could have been from the ground radials being up against the house. So what I plan on doing is the board here, that's going to attach this pole to the top of this, and that right there is it was broken when we bought the place, and we're not gonna put too much money into this because we're gonna end up moving to Tennessee here pretty soon anyway. So yeah, this is just gonna be mostly a temporary setup. If I can get it to work, that'd be great. All right, so get you a little closer look here. These are zip ties, just holding this piece in, giving it some support because silicone isn't fully set yet. Then I have it attached to this pole here. I'm gonna ground this pole to this ground wire that I have here. So that should help with grounding and noise, at least I hope. Don't mind all the pee and poop spots because, well, my dogs go potty out here too. So I got some twine, and this is some pretty good stuff. I'm gonna try it out anyway. I'm gonna tie the ground radials off. I'm hoping between that board, that pole, it'll be high enough to get these ground radials above the house. Mower Junkie, thank you for the advice on that. I am gonna go ahead, cut this little end off, put a cap on it, straighten out these ground radials, cut them down to length. I think they're a little bit over 102 inches. And we're gonna see what this thing does. I'm hoping by the end of this video, you guys would have heard me or I've made some contacts. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I will show you guys a finished product. I'm gonna do this stuff off camera because it's really hard for me to do with one hand. I will cut back in here once I have it up and in the air. All right, guys, you ready to see? It is way up there now. The ground radials are above the roof. They're sitting right around a 45-degree angle. At least I'm hoping they are. The only thing I have left to do now is to take this little wire here, hook it to my ground, so that this way, if lightning does hit it, it can go straight to the ground instead of through the house, through the radio, and all that fun stuff. Let me get that ground wire hooked up. We'll go in, check the SWR, see what it does. Moment of truth. See what we got. I think before I do that, I better hook up the antenna, huh? Ooh, I may need an extension on that. Be right back. Let me extend this out just a little bit. The antenna hooked up in the back. Let's fire this thing up. See if we're getting any skip at all. Nope. Okay. So, let's change it to, we'll start out at 40. Why not? Set the SWR meter. Oh, I gotta turn that way down. It's really hard to do this with one hand. Okay, set 1.6. Change it to channel 1 now. Set. Gotta turn that up just a tick. Oh, too far. Alright, there we go. And 1.5. That's about as good as it's gonna get. It is way up there in the air. We'll see how long it lasts up there. Yeah, if I missed anything, guys, or you guys want to see other things too, let me know. I'm gonna jump on the air here and I'm gonna see what I can get. We will talk at you guys later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. Catch you on the next one. I'm on channel 38, single sideband. I don't think there is any skip today. I did just talk to a trucker a few minutes ago. He says I was sounding really good on AM, so I'm gonna give it one more shot here. CQDX 309, Central Iowa, standing by. Anybody got a copy? And I'm on lower sideband, so it's pretty quiet. So I'm guessing we do not have any skip today, but I'll record more footage you know, as Skip comes along, try it out, see what happens. Just wanted to show you guys that real quick, show you that it's working, and I'm hoping to hear some of you guys out there on the airwaves. We'll talk to you guys later.